Now, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite anime tropes are the oversized and ridiculous weapons you sometimes see. The Heavy Guardian class from Blue Protocol Star Residence gives me that in spades with its giant pizza cutter. Compared to its tank alternative, the Shield Knight, the Heavy Guardian trades self-healing for more self-shielding and trades some personal damage for even more damage mitigation. Furthermore, a stat I'll talk about a lot for this class is block, and just so we're all clear, blocking in Blue Protocol Star Residence doesn't completely negate the damage, but instead, it reduces how much damage you would take by a percentage. Moving on, the Heavy Guardian has two class resources, Rage, indicated by the white bar you see here, and Sand Crystals, indicated by the crystal icons underneath the bar. To start off the skills, we have your left mouse button attack, Halberd's Edge. This attack string is actually pretty stacked. Each hit builds 5 rage and also has a chance to generate 1 Sand Crystal. As such, your attack string functions as one of your main resource builders. Furthermore, an early talent unlock causes your left mouse button attack to vacuum enemies for 8 seconds after you've cast your ultimate. The base special skill is Shield Bash. It costs 40 rage to cast and hits in an AoE around you. If you have at least 1 Sand Crystal, it will also consume it to generate a shield that can continue to stack up to 100% of your maximum HP. This special skill is tied to the Earthfort Spec. Our other special skill variation is Counter Crush. This skill consumes 40 rage to deal damage and enter the Counter Crush state. This increases your block chance as well as reducing the attack damage you would have taken if you successfully block. This special skill is tied to the Block Spec. For the ultimate skill, we have Cracking Echo. This skill deals a burst of AoE damage, taunts the enemies it hits, generates 5 Sand Crystals and 40 rage, and puts you into the Earth Guard state. This grants you super armor, 100% increased armor, and 50% extra max HP for 8 seconds. As such, this is one of your big damage mitigation tools for tank busters. For the first expertise skill, we have Star Shatter. It has 2 charges, and using one causes you to dash forward to hit the enemy, which can stun a trash mob. It generates 25 rage and 1 Sand Crystal and is one of your main ways to build Sand Crystals. Next, we have Sand Shroud. It creates a damaging aura around you for 6 seconds that generates 33 rage and 6 Sand Crystals over the duration. As such, this is another one of your main Sand Crystal generators. Next, we have Stone Form. This skill taunts enemies, increases your armor, and reduces the damage you take by 20% for 10 seconds. It only has a 35-second cooldown and is one of your most effective damage mitigation tools. After that, we have Sand Grip. This skill costs 30 rage and deals damage while vacuuming all mobs hit towards you, which is great for grouping during a dungeon pull. Next, we have Granite Fury. This skill costs 3 Sand Crystals at first. However, a talent can reduce the cost down to 2 Sand Crystals. This skill will deal a burst of damage while also reducing the damage you take by 10% for the next 10 seconds. As such, this is one of your other damage mitigation abilities. Next up, we have Rage Burst. This skill costs 50 rage and 5 Sand Crystals. It deals a burst of damage that also grants you a shield. Furthermore, it also reduces the attack damage that you take from the enemy hit by 10% for 12 seconds. This functions as both one of your big damaging skills as well as a way to upkeep your shields for survivability. Lastly, we have Brave Bastion. This skill consumes up to 5 Sand Crystals to both taunt nearby enemies as well as create a barrier that increases your block bonus. This skill's duration is increased by 1 second for each Sand Crystal consumed, up to a maximum of 5 extra seconds. Moving on to the specializations. First up, we have the Earthfort Spec. This specialization revolves around maximizing your shield uptime by effectively building and spending your rage and Sand Crystal bars, while occasionally bursting with an empowered Rage Burst proc. For the substats, you want to focus on mastery and versatility, and for the expertise skills, you're looking at Star Shatter, Sand Shroud, Stone Form, and Rage Burst. The Earthfort rotation is a pretty standard build gauge, spend gauge, ebb and flow. It involves utilizing your left mouse button attack, Star Shatter, and Sand Shroud to continuously build gauge in order to cast Shield Bash and Rage Burst, which will become empowered after multiple casts. Meanwhile, you have your ultimate and Stone Form for further damage mitigation for tank busters. Moving on to the other specialization option, the Block Spec, go figure, largely revolves around blocking incoming attacks from enemies. Resource generation for this spec mainly comes from its talents that trigger upon a successful block. For the substats, you want to focus on luck and mastery, and for the expertise skills, you want Granite Fury, Brave Bastion, Stone Form, and Sand Grip. The rotation will revolve around utilizing Counter Crush to maximize your block percent chance to trigger your multiple counter attack talents. You can open with your ultimate to generate shields and resources to start using Counter Crush. Make sure to also weave in Granite Fury when you have Sand Crystals in order to maximize your damage. If you're in a dungeon, Sand Grip is useful for grouping the mobs to AoE them down, and you'll want to save Brave Bastion and Stone Form for when a big tank buster attack is coming your way. For imagined options, you have Tempest Ogre for grouping. Lastly, for talents, Talents are a bit more ambiguous as there are quite a few that are more negligible in the benefits they provide. That being said, starting with the Earthfort spec, here are 8 talent nodes that I found to be a bit more beneficial in providing more tankiness and damage to your build. Starting with the top of the tree, we have Star Fury, Shield Bash, Breath of Stone, and Shield Echo. And then for the bottom of the tree, we have Smash Support, Lord of Rocks, Sandy Shelter, and Boulder Shield. Moving on to the block spec, for the top of the tree we have Sand Block, Rage Enhancement, Granite Fury, and Heart of Rock. And then for the bottom of the tree we have Granite Combo, Sandstone Shock, Granite Fury, and Block Blessing. Now, keep in mind that since this is taken from the closed beta, some of the final translated names may be different, but their locations and effects should still be relatively the same for you to use. And that wraps it up for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what games you guys are playing while you wait for the full release. And most importantly, have a blessed day.